Okay, we've got our top three finishers from today's Motivation Supersport race here at MotoAmerica. Our winner, Blake Davis, second place, Cameron Peterson, and third place, PJ Jacobson. We'll start with PJ. PJ, you seem a little quiet on the way over here. I think you didn't have the best of, you didn't have the motorcycle the way you wanted this weekend, but if you look at it, you've done pretty darn well as far as the championship goes. Is that kind of how you feel?
Yeah, when you're struggling in the race and stuff, like I said yesterday, then I start paying attention where Skoltz is, and then I was kind of trying to catch their group, but I was trying everything out there, and I just was off of it, and then Tyler was in front of me, and then he would catch them, and then he would not catch them, so it was kind of upsetting the rhythm of getting to them. And then finally they started to mix it up again, and I ended up catching them, but I was still just trying everything to get there, But then, Skoltz did that move at the end in the last corner. And I wasn't too far back, but it gave me enough to, send it nicely in there and get a kind of a good drive out of the last corner to be on the podium. But yeah, I was struggling the whole race. It was very difficult. I was kind of like a sitting duck out there and just trying to work my way to get to them, but it was hard.
Well, I think your point lead is 20 now, so if that's any consolation.
Yeah, it's a positive, so that's good for a beer later.
Second place today, Cam Peterson. It's his best finish of the year. He's had a pretty rough year, actually, and it's got to be nice to turn things around here. You had a good race yesterday, a little mistake there in the last lap, and I think you got fifth. So overall, improvement.
Yeah, we, every time we're on the bike, we make an improvement. We just, coming into the season, we literally had 0 test time. So, the bike's been pretty foreign to me, and this is the first weekend where I've actually felt like the motorcycle's mine, and just getting more confident on the bike, and it's nice to be back up here. I feel like it's been a long time since I got to talk to you in one of these things, but yeah, it's been a rough start to the season, and even yesterday I felt like I had the pace, I had the bike under me, that's for sure, to go win these races. And even in the race today, I don't know what lap it was pretty early on, lap 2 maybe. I ran off going into Canada corner, and Blake and Maddie got a bit of a gap, and I started stressing. I thought that was maybe end of the race, and I just put my head down, did the quickest lap I've done all weekend. So lots of positives to take away from this weekend, but I can't thank Akropovic enough for being here this weekend. And we had 1 or 2 issues, and those guys were on the bike all the time and gave me an insanely fast motorcycle, which definitely helped out. But massive thanks to Shark Helmets, to Alpine Stars, everybody in my corner, the whole Economy Lube, entire Celtic, Warhorse, Ducati team. Those guys are awesome, and just about time I start having fun on a motorcycle, and look forward to the rest of the season.
Now, you had a couple of stitches in the finger. Was that painful, or was it? No?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely noticeable. Honestly, this little nub might be broken as well, so it's had its fair share of trauma. But it wasn't enough to kind of slow me down. I could still put pressure on the handlebars the way I wanted to, but just congrats to the 2 guys next to me, and congrats to Blake. That was one hell of a race. I don't know how many times we passed each other. He is one determined kid, and I look forward to battling with him for the rest of the season.
And the team even did some voodoo stuff for you?
Yeah. We, after morning warm up, got back to the rig, and they had lit up some sage, and they just saged me and the bike, and it seemed to work.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Our winner today, Blake Davis. He crashed yesterday, came back today. You look so strong, so confident. It seemed like you could do no wrong, and you could pass people wherever you wanted. And did you have it in the back of your mind that this one's mine?
Yeah, I was pretty fired up after yesterday. Here, you can never really say, I have it. Even 10 feet from the line, I wasn't sure if I had it or not. So, I was definitely feeling really good on the brakes. I felt like I could outbrake, just about anyone. So that was definitely a huge confidence booster. I kept just trying to stay in front of Cam, stay in the lead of the race. I, still don't know if I have enough pace to just sit behind people. So I'm always scared just sit and wait behind people. I always want to lead the race. Just it gives me that confidence that I'm still here. I'm still with the leaders. I'm always having a chance. So it was definitely a super fun race. Battling with Cam was amazing.
Were you worried about your position on the last run up the hill or not?
Yeah, definitely. We kind of had a strategy. With the pit board, to know if I could lead out of the last corner or not. And they told me I couldn't lead out of the last corner, and I still led out of the last corner. Wasn't really the plan, but, I feel I just got, Matt tried to make a big move, and, I was able to cut up under him and, get a good run to the line and felt really solid.
All right. Any questions?
Thanks. PJ, first, you said you were struggling. Where was the biggest problem with the bike today?
I was just really struggling off of the corners. Like, I just couldn't get off the corners anywhere. The bike would just kind of was spinning up because it was just so aggressive coming off the corners, and I had just no drive. So I was really losing that. And then I couldn't really draft anybody, honestly. So, I mean, I could whine about it or whatever, but I couldn't.
No, thanks. I appreciate that. Cam, I know you ran long in Canada Corner early in the race. Same sort of issue that you had yesterday, just trying to get the bike to stop?
Yeah, I mean, I think Blake was in front of me at that time. I think he was in second, I was in third, and I just at that point I didn't realize how good he was on the brakes and just try to make the move. And obviously with the slipstream and kind of getting in there a little bit deep, trying to outbrake Blake, there was just no way I was getting that bike stopped. So just luckily enough, there's enough asphalt out there to where I could get the thing turned and fired back onto the track. And actually, I came back on, I think, in fourth. So I think the field was a little bit spread out at the time, which gave me the opportunity that next lap to put my head down and catch back up to these guys.
And did Matthew's move in that last corner, did that kind of skewer your plans for the win? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, again, going into Canada Corner, I kind of took it on the easy side. I knew Matty was right behind me, and then I followed him into the last corner and just screwed my run up, and obviously Blake got just a big enough gap to where he didn't have to worry about anything. But it's expected. It's the last lap, last corner. Anything can happen.
Thanks. And then for Blake, a couple of races ago, we were sitting at one of these. You'd finish third, and you were like, "I did not show up here to finish third." Did you have it in your head today that this was going to be win or wind up in the gravel trap, or?
Yeah, pretty much. I finished third in the championship last year behind Matt and PJ, and so far this year it's kind of been the same story, third behind them too. So I'm really trying to make my move. I need to be here every race, not just here and there. So just kind of like you said, either win it or bin it. So definitely pushing for it all. And I was really fired up after yesterday. Had some contact with another rider, and didn't really. I was kind of pissed off, so, riding mad but controlled at the same time, I think really helped me.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
I just have one for you, Cam. I wanted to ask you, so the preseason test at Podium Club, you had tweaked your knee in that one crash you had. I heard you just ran a half marathon?
Yeah. It's I haven't been able to run for the last year and a half with my knees being pretty bad. But, I spent 2 weeks in the water in Mauritius, and I don't know what's in the water over there, but... I try to go for a run every single day, and ever since then, just my knees feel great. So, it was good.
So you may not get that surgery at the end of the season then, possibly?
No, I mean, last time I went for the checkup, there was no chance of it getting more damage or tearing anymore. So I feel like it's actually pretty much fully healed now. Still dealing with the meniscus being taken out 7 months ago. I still kind of feel that, but it just seems like every single day it gets better and better.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we're here today with our top three finishers from today's Superbike race here at RoadAmerica, the second Superbike race of the weekend, and actually their last race for this weekend. Our winner today, Josh Herron, second place, Bobby Fong, and third place, Richie Escalante. We'll get started with Richie. It's his first podium of the year. Not the best of starts to your season, but it seems like you're starting to gather some momentum and some confidence. And you scared us on the last lap because you obviously had a problem, and we're like, oh no, he's going to miss the podium.
Yes, I'm really happy, to be honest. I think this weekend, for some reason this year, I don't have the best feeling with the bike, so take time every day to feel a little bit better. So I think today I have maybe a little bit lucky, to be honest, but it's part of racing. So I'm super happy to finish in the podium. And in the last lap, I think I have maybe no fuel, so almost not finish the race. So super happy. I tried to stay close with Bob, but I make a mistake in the chicane, and after that just maintain my pace. So to compare Friday to today, I'm super happy. So big thanks to my team Vision Wheel for Extra Suzuki, to my personal sponsor Mission Foods, and can't wait for the Ridge and Lagoon. I think is special tracks for us, and I think the Suzuki working very good there.
All right, thank you, and congrats. Second place today, Bobby Fong. Second yesterday, second today. A little bit off today. I don't know if they went quicker or if you had some issues and went a little bit slower, but you weren't quite as close. Is that the case?
Yeah, no, I was kind of doing the same thing as yesterday. We always try 100%, but I felt like the track was a little greasy today. You couldn't carry the momentum like I did yesterday. I was actually like dumbfounded at the end of the race. I'm like, man, I was going pretty slow with the times, but asking Richie, but I can't ask this guy because he did a 9.4, so I can't ask him if it was slick because it obviously wasn't that slick. No, I was a little more disappointed with myself that I couldn't do the same pace, but man, I lost a draft after the first lap and just kind of a sit and duck. But man, the crew's been working hard, and it's cool to get 2 second place points. So I was a little far down on the points leading up to this round, so it's good to just move up in the points and keep the Yamaha on the podium is good. Bummer for my teammate. I don't know exactly what happened, but hopefully he's good. And I know Jake would have been up here as well if he would had a good start.
All right, thank you. A winner today, Josh Herron. It's a perfect weekend. Won yesterday, won today. I don't think you came in here expecting that good of results, but congratulations. You now trail Cameron by just 2 points. So all the stuff that happened before this, like last year, kind of got erased. So almost starting from scratch again.
Yeah, like we talked about yesterday, just getting through those first 2 rounds is important for us because I think for me mentally, I got to get through them. It's like A1 for Supercross. Like I just got to do it, and luckily, we had 2 really good races this weekend. We don't want to catch Cam because of crashes, but that's part of the game, right? Making mistakes is it's a part of it, and you gotta try to minimize them. So the guys gave me a perfect bike this weekend. Like Bobby said, the track didn't have the grip that it had yesterday, but it seems like when the grip's down, our bike, on the V2 and the V4, it's always seemed to be better for us. But I ran off in the chicane, and I just knew, all right, I have to put in a solid 2 laps right now and catch back up to Cam, or my race is over, and was able to do that 9.4, which I was shocked by because I don't know what my best time was this weekend, but I don't think it was anywhere close to that. So super happy with how the week went. I got 2 babies and 2 wins, so it's can't ask for anything more than that. And just happy to go back. Happy to go race, at the Ridge in a couple weeks. And, got to say big thank you to my crew chief, Simone. I think he was the only guy I forgot to say on the podium, and he made sure to tell me about it whenever I got back. So, big thanks to Simone for making the improvements to the bike today to make it even better than it was yesterday.
It was, I think, 4 laps to go when Cameron crashed. Is that a point when things were going to start to heat up a little bit more?
At that point, I had seen like a bunch of 10-7, 10-7, 10-7 on my thing like 4 times, and I was kind of like leaving the ball in his court. I wanted to see how he was feeling, if he was going to push and get on me. I heard him a couple times. I knew where I was losing a lot of time. I come out of chicane, I had nothing. I just kept having to go half throttle until I got through the first 2 shifts. He was catching me a lot there, and I just wanted to see what he was going to do. I thought, after seeing the 9.4, I'm like, all right, obviously I can do a 9. So I'm sitting in 10.7. So I was hoping that the last 2 laps, if I hadn't been passed by him yet, that I wanted to try and do like a high 9, low 10 just to try to break him. But I didn't need to. I think, yesterday he was saying he had some front tuck-in problems, and I could see on the monitors where I was kind of gaining on him. It seemed like in the corners where we were like having a trail break pretty late. So I think he was just kind of feeling a little bit pressured because he was having those problems with the tucks, and we were able to capitalize on it and be back in the points. Like you said.
Did you know right away that he was gone? Like, did you hear it or?
I saw a +5 on my board, and I knew we had like +4.5 to Bobby. So I was like, all right, something had to happen. Either he ran off and they're battling now, or he went out. And then the next, so I stayed I think I went like 3/10 slower that lap. I was like, oh, I'll just maintain. But then I saw his bike up on the air fence in the carousel. So then after that, I just kind of put on cruise control.
Okay, any questions?
Just one for you, Richie. So after you got the checkered flag, I wasn't sure if you were you able to do a cool down lap at all?
Yes.
Okay, so you made it all the way around with maybe the fuel issue?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Close, but I got to the podium. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got our top 3 finishers from today's highly entertaining Mission King of the Baggers race here at Road America. Our winner today, Troy Herfoss. Second place, James Rispoli. And third place, Kyle Wyman. We'll get started with Kyle. Kyle won yesterday, third today. It appeared to me as though you were perfectly content to just kind of sit and watch what was going on ahead of you and not put yourself in any situation that might cost you championship points.
For sure. Had the best seat in the house for that, for sure. It's just I was not feeling so hot on the sighting and warm-up lap. I just felt like the tire wasn't underneath me, and I don't know. I was hoping it would kind of come in throughout because, every session we've done this weekend, all my best laps have come 6-7 laps on the tire when I'm just building temperature, and it just kind of never came. So I had enough to stay there, not enough to really fight, especially in the carousel. I was really struggling in the carousel. But yeah, obviously taking the situation into consideration, I was pretty content to sit there, and a lot of guys around me a lot more motivated than me to get a win, and I think we made the smart move.
All right, congratulations. Second place today, third yesterday, James Rispoli. You had a pretty dramatic day. I think it started in warm-up, and it's kind of escalated to this point. Kept your nose clean in the final. Tell us a little bit about how your race went down.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to Kyle. It took me quite a bit to feel like I got a tire underneath me. Bradley and Troy were banging bars from lap 1. Kyle said he had the best seat in the house. From 2 laps ago, I think I had the best seat in the house. And, those guys were racing really hard. It looked all, mustard up until the last corner, but it's racing at some point. We're all trying to win. And, for me, this is one of my best weekends probably ever on the factory motorcycle, and I'm riding a little small wave here. So, yeah, it was an interesting race. I really wanted to win, but there was 2 guys that were throwing absolutely everything out of it. And at the end of the day, racing's racing, but you never want to see anybody go on the ground to finish. So, I think for me, I'll take the second place. My team's been working so hard, and my side of the garage has been really grinding to get me to a confident place to where I can be back where I know I can be and fight with these world-class guys. So I got a lot of respect for everybody on the grid, and I hope to take this momentum into the next race.
All right, thank you. Our winner today is defending champion Troy Herfoss. Didn't have a good day yesterday, made up for it today. I think an angry Australian's hard to beat. The way you rode, the way you went about the whole second race, I think we talked earlier in the day, that's kind of what you had to do in order to have a chance to win. Am I right?
Yeah. I think, hey, first and foremost, I wish that Bradley is feeling okay. I'm sorry he went down there at the end. Should we start again?
Yeah, but not my part. Is it on? Are we on? Testing?
Sounds like my day yesterday. Just never got started.
Go for it.
All right. Forgot the question, but firstly, I just want to say I hope Bradley's okay. We were racing super hard out there, and man, that he's hungry. He was like a dog with a bone, and I closed the gap in the last turn, and And I thought that it was when we went in there, I was a lot stronger than him in the race. Sorry, in the day. This morning I seen him as well, and yeah, he ended up pushing a lot wider than me. I went for it, and he went for it, and I really hope that's the way we can see it moving forward, because I know how I'd feel right now if I was Bradley, and I just want to say I'm sorry that's how it finished, but we're both going for the same line, and yeah. But aside from that, man, it was it was quite the day. I was looking for every excuse to fire up today, and yeah, I got it. I was having a lot of fun out there in that race, and yeah, it's a funny old game, isn't it? Like you got to be able to ride a bike fast, but yeah, when you get out there and the flag drops, it's about racing a motorbike, and it's a fun old game, and I think I'm pretty good at that game. I just wish I could ride faster for a lap.
Have you ridden harder than that?
Yeah, I wasn't riding hard, and that sounds funny, but these guys will understand this. It's a funny old game when you know you're going to get slipped at some stage, and that's your weakness, and you know where your strong points are. You ride to them strengths, and that means that it's certain parts of the track I was sort of just having a cup of tea in order to make sure I was good in the places where I knew my bike was good. And yeah, it's a fun old game. I'll say that again.
All right, any questions? Come on, you wussies. No?
Hold on.
James and Kyle, both of you were saying that it was taking a while for, I assume, your rear tire to come in. Did you change rubber or anything after qualifying? Or did you use the same tire in qualifying that you did for the race? Or, any ideas on what happened there? Because you were so quick in qualifying. Yeah.
For me, it's we tried a little different strategy today, and I think it was better than yesterday, but definitely in the cooler conditions in the morning and stuff like that, my bike just seems to be a little bit better with the tire, and yeah, it was just a little bit greasy as well. Troy said it was kind of a slow fast race, like I felt like I wasn't on the edge really anywhere, and it was weird because. It took a while for the tire to come in, but at the same time, when he's using his strong points and the Harley can't really exploit our strong points, we get into this game where the race becomes kind of fast in certain sections. The pace wasn't extreme in certain places. It was good, but it wasn't like crazy. And just like trying to get into that rhythm and to be able to use the tire the way that we know how is for me was a little bit difficult until so it was just greasy.
I do have one for you, Troy. So this year, compared to last year, what's different? It feels like, I don't know if it's this, the Harleys have made a step or what's going on. It just feels like a different year for you, and I just wonder what it is. Do you think?
Yeah, so far it is different. We've been a couple of tenths faster each track, and consistently moving forward. And the team's working super hard in the off season. I was faster in testing than last year. I was faster. I think at Daytona I was faster. It was a bit questionable with my consistency. Road Atlanta, the race pace was faster. And here I've been faster. So, yeah, what's changed? We've got a lot better, and we're still not quite good enough. So, look, it's funny when you finish a championship as close as Kyle and I did. Like, let's face it, who was the better rider? Far out, man. There was one corner in it, one point in it. But the fact is, I got to go to bed being a champion, and he got to go to bed and probably not sleep for 3 weeks, and there's probably emails going back and forth and work happening, and it's just human nature. It just goes and it goes, and everyone works so hard to be here. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been working hard and I've won a couple of championships, and I know this scenario I'm in, but it's just so hard to avoid it, right? And yesterday was a real big wake-up call. I've never got up on a race weekend in the King of the Bag series being this down on optimism. And boy, did we had a little bit of a change in warm-up where I just thought I could go fast enough to maybe ride with these guys for a few laps maybe, and then I got blessed with a really good start, and I got to take the race into my own hands. And but yeah, what's changed? These guys are doing a damn good job, and my guys are doing a good job, and we're all elevating this series. And I was happy to ride the wave of success, and I'm only too happy to get my head kicked in by these guys, but I'm going to try and fire up as good as I can.
Thank you.